Welcome everybody back to the College Football Playoff Eliminator series where we take a realistic look to see what teams out there in the college football landscape still have a realistic shot in being part of that 12-team field at the end of the season. I'm recording this at about 11:30 at night. We just got done watching the Hawaii game, which means we did in fact pass the Hawaii test, ladies and gentlemen. So great week zero action. We had really one of the better week zero slates, I think, in recent memory, and it certainly lived up to the bill for the most part, at least in my opinion. But before I go deep into the tier maker, what that looks like after we got done with week zero action, make sure you do a couple of things for me here, man. Make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, as well as hit that subscribe button as well, because that helps the channel tremendously and gets this video pushed out to more college football diehards like yourself, because you have a chance to be an A1 since day one, man. So with that being said, let's take a look at the updated tier maker after week zero action is completed. And it's a much more comprehensive list than what we had when we originally started the season, right? So starting from our top, and we're going to work our way down, we're starting with the Stanford Cardinal. Heartbreaking loss to the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors on the road to start the year out, because it is a group of five loss. For the Stanford Cardinal, if they want to have any shot at large consideration and really be like an SMU, so to speak, they're gonna need to win out the rest of the regular season and make it to the ACC championship. Now, they don't necessarily need to win the ACC. I'm certainly not putting it on this Stanford Cardinal team whatsoever, but they do need to win the rest of their regular season games if they want to have a chance to at least get that at-large consideration. So the loss to Hawaii hurts, but Stanford certainly not out of it. Meanwhile, the Fresno State Bulldogs, we saw them lose on the road, convincing loss actually to the Kansas Jayhawks, and not only did they lose, it was a pretty bad loss. I mean, it was a borderline splattering, to be honest with you. So Fresno State, they are now a new member of the must win out period tier. I did change up the tiers a little bit for clarity purposes. So for Fresno State to get any kind of consideration, they're going to need a win out. And that doesn't mean being limited just to the regular season. You're also talking about actually winning the Mountain West Championship. So that's what Fresno State's going to have to do in order to make it to the college football playoff. They're going to have to try and win the rest of their games on their schedule, including that Mountain West Championship game. And then finally, we do have a team that was eliminated in week zero action, the Sam Houston Bearcats. It was actually a closer game than what the score suggests. It was very close going into the fourth quarter. Western Kentucky does end up pulling late, a 41-24 victory for the Hilltoppers to start this season out in a pivotal Conference USA game. So Sam Houston gets eliminated because we have not seen, whether it's the 14 format or the 12-team format, where you end up seeing a group of five team make the college football playoff with a G5 loss on the resume. So Sam Houston does get included in that week zero elimination tier. We almost saw a second team eliminated this week, UNLV. They had a scare against Idaho State. They find a way to lock in at the end of the game and they pull it out. But guys, UNLV was trailing in the fourth quarter, just completely astronomical, just crazy to think about. So we almost saw UNLV in here. They're not, because they didn't lose that game. But UNLV definitely going to need to prove some things before they get into conference play. Plus the games against UCLA and Miami of Ohio, those are not going to be toss-ups as well for the UNLV Rebels moving forward. So this takes us down to 132 teams that are still alive. We have one newcomer to the elimination list, including Delaware, Missouri State, and Akron, who were not eligible either because of the FBS transition rules or because, as CF Budge mentioned in his one of his tier makers in the preseason, they were literally too stupid to go and be eligible for even a bowl game. forget about the college football playoff, right? So now we get into week number 1, and it's going to be formatted slightly differently because all of the previews aren't done yet, but they're going to be sprinkled on the channel throughout the week, and that is at least my plan of action. So we have actually 8 elimination games over the course of week number 1, and it starts with Thursday. Boise State taking on the University of Southern Florida. The Bulls hosting, according to Redshirt Sports, the number 21 team in the nation, and all of these are going to be G5 matchups. Friday, we actually have 2, one of them being that Duke's Mayo Classic between the Appalachian State Mountaineers and the Charlotte 49ers, where we do see new coaching staffs. One of those coaching staffs are going to go ahead and get their first win in their debut. So there's that. Then late Friday night, Central Michigan is going to play against San Jose State. San Jose, really a media darling over the course of the offseason, taking on a brand new coaching staff in Central Michigan, and those Chippewas having to travel across the country to play against San Jose State. And then what we are going to have on Saturday, you know that the channel is called College Football Red Zone. We're going to actually have our first College Football Red Zone stream this Saturday. Definitely make sure to check in and check that out. Hopefully we can create that similar environment to NFL Red Zone. It's going to take some time, but hoping we can create that environment. Just would love to see you guys there. But during the Red Zone stream, we are going to have 2 elimination games, Temple and UMass, which is going to be at 3:30 Eastern on Saturday, and then UTEP and Utah State are going to kick off at 7:30. So those are 2 elimination games that we will see on College Football Red Zone. Then there's a few games that we will not see on the College Football Red Zone stream, but they are games that we are going to monitor. Rice and Louisiana, as well as Eastern Michigan and Texas State. Those 2 games are going to be going off at the same time. They're both kicking off at 8 Eastern on Saturday. And then finally, Georgia Southern is going to take on Fresno State. Fresno State coming off of, again, a borderline blowout loss to Kansas Jayhawks. Whereas Georgia Southern, they are going to go ahead, and that's going to be their season opener for the Georgia Southern Eagles. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But with that being said, we have 132 teams remaining. How do you feel your team currently stands? What's your chances? And how you feel about the tier maker in general? Definitely let me know down in the comment section. There's going to be a lot of teams joining this list. And that doesn't even account for any insane upsets that we might see along the way. But with that being said, this is your host, Jake of College Football Red Zone, signing off. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys throughout the week as we get ready to gear up for some of these pivotal matchups, not only at the national level in the college football landscape, but also at the G5 level as well. But with that being said, this is Jake of College Football Red Zone signing off for now. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.